Left, right, in between, every other direction of political wag you care to mention. Consensus after the Republican debate was that Carly Fiorina was not only the hands-down winner in the JV version, she was right there in contention atop the entire field. But with a second gathering still to come, are we already hearing hints that the overseeing network is seeking to exclude the only woman in the race? Let's gather around the water cooler, break it all down. Welcome back, CNBC contributor, New York Times bestselling author, one who fears no question and tears into a debate with the force of a defenseman bearing down on a helpless and unsuspecting puck carrier, Carol Roth. Good to see you again, Carol.
Thanks for the intro, Ed. That was quite the intro.
No worries. Get in there. Come on. You got to get a little hockey in there because season's almost upon us. All right. Season's well here in politics. CNN is setting up the next debate criteria. There's a fear that Carly Fiorina may be excluded from the stage because they are going to take polls from all the way back in July. And there are a lot of people crying that, you know how everything is in this business. Ooh, conspiracy, you want to keep Carly off the stage. But is it fair? Because she really hasn't been trending until just recently.
Well, I don't know if it's fair, but I will tell you that it is the best thing possible for both CNN and for Carly, frankly, for her not to be in that primary stage debate. They're doing things a little bit differently. They're having the JV or kiddie table debate, whatever you want to call it, right before the major debate. And she shined because she got a word in edgewise. She got lots of words in edgewise. If you go into the major debate, you are going to be completely drowned out by the Trump-ettes, if you will. I think it would be really good for her to have one more debate where she can really shine and get her points across before joining the main stage. And from CNN's perspective, it's a great way to bring ratings in for that JV debate because otherwise nobody's showing up to that.
There you go. Let's always think about ratings. We know exactly what it's about, debate season television. There you go. I tend to agree with you, too. She did so well in the JV, and I don't see anybody else who can really hold a candle next to her again. She comes out firing, and she can win that one again, and then she really becomes a major voice. All right, speaking of voices, Jeb Bush and Donald Trump, they go at it in New Hampshire on Wednesday night, toe-to-toe, knee-to-knee, but wait a minute, it was so different. Here's Donald Trump doing what basically amounted to a wonderful show. He's talking about celebrities, and here's Jeb Bush trying desperately in front of a couple of hundred people to get his point across, and people think he comes across as boring. How do you break that Donald Trump firewall, Carol?
You don't. It's not a fair fight. And that's one of the main reasons why people are drawn to Donald Trump, why the media is talking about Donald Trump, and why he really does have a chance to be the nominee and maybe even the president. He knows how to put on a show. He knows how to entertain people. And we live in a society of infotainment. You have to entertain them first and hide the information inside. Otherwise, it doesn't get across. So it's really not a fair fight when you put Trump against Bush, and it's one of the things that the GOP needs to learn and needs to do more of as it cultivates candidates on an ongoing basis. All
right, I'll put you on the spot then about this because you bring up a very good point. It's the way Donald Trump gets out there, puts on a show. Out of the Republican candidates that are there right now, everybody else outside of Donald, who would you imagine might have the best opportunity to just jack it up a little bit, get in there, fire up, and maybe just try to maybe not steal some of Trump's thunder, but at least be close to grabbing people? Is there anybody out there who's got that kind of personality?
I don't think anybody has that kind of personality. I think that maybe somebody like a Ben Carson for a very different reason, for a very different kind of show, for something still outside the establishment and, looks and feels different. But there is nobody on that stage who is going to be able to compete with the showmanship of Donald Trump, not on the Republican side and frankly not on the Democratic side either, although Bernie Sanders is doing a fairly decent job, all things considered.
Good point. All right, about a minute or so that we have left. Two people in the news these days. One is Jared Fogle, the former Subway spokesman, an absolute slice of vermin for what this man had been doing for years with young kids. And then you have Josh Duggar out there, who apparently had an Ashley Madison account, and his family's trying to get back into TLC's good graces by saying, oh, wait a minute, maybe now we can have a show that will teach people how to deal with sexual assault and predators and such. I got news for you, Carol. These are two of the most reprehensible human beings I can think of at the moment.
They're not human beings. They're monsters, and they need to go away. Mr. Duggar not only has the Ashley Madison account, but you have to remember that he is an admitted child molester as well. So he's somebody who has done completely despicable things. You should take him, you should take Jared, you should take Bill Cosby, you should put them all in the same jail cell together. You should take them, lock them up, throw away the key, and we should never talk about them again. It's completely morally reprehensible. And the fact that they're even trying to use this as a platform to gain more fame and fortune makes it even more disturbing.
I think that's just disturbing. I've talked to a lot of people who said the way that the Duggars are coming out now, and they still want to get a reality show after all this, it just shows it shows they're not in this for their faith or for their religion. They're in this for the money. They're greedy, just like so many.
Never have been.
There you go. Exactly right. And there will be smarter minds that will move forward as well. Carol, always a pleasure to get a chance to talk to you. Hockey season coming up soon. We'll have that friendly wager, right? Right? Okay.
Absolutely.
We'll get to it. Thanks, Carol. Take care of yourself. Coming up next, Telling It Like It Is, the only place able to weave together a girls' softball team, Pete Rose and Hillary Clinton, in the same segment. Next.